Alright, new video time. This video is gonna be about the number system and the chords that naturally occur in a major key. Thanks to a question posted to my last video by my good friend Julian. Let's get into it. At the top of the page, you'll see the 7 notes of the C major scale. Now I know there are 8, but if you look carefully, the first note and the last note, both C's, is just a repeated note. So these are the notes that are contained in the C major scale. In a certain major key, if a song is in a certain major key, for example, the C major key, it will use chords that are built using the notes from that major scale, which is in this case the C major scale. So chords, so a song written in C major will use the notes from the C major scale to build its chords and to build its melodies. Now, let's talk about why these notes are important. And I've numbered those the notes here, the scale degrees, and we call them scale degrees. And there's a reason why, and I'll explain later. But so let's start from the beginning. C is 1, D is 2, E is 3. So as you go up, there's 7 notes in this scale, as you can see. Each of them are just simply marked using Arabic numbers. Real simple, just going up in order. Now, why are these notes so important? They're important because they create harmony or chords. Now we're going to talk about something called tertial harmony. Tertial harmony is known as harmony of thirds. And basically what that means is they are chords built by stacking notes in thirds. Now let's talk about what thirds are. If you see here in these notes, this is how you find the third. Real simple. Let's start with C. From C you go 1. The first note is 1, 2, 3. E is the third of C. What's the third of D? 1, 2, 3. F is the third of D. What's the third of E? E, F, G. 1, 2, 3. G is the third of E. Third. So far, this is just counting. This isn't rocket science. You can find the third of any of these notes, and we're going to only stay within the notes of the C major scale. You can find any note's third by just counting. G, A, B, 1, 2, 3. B is the third of G. The next step is to build harmony or chords on top of every single note in the C major scale. And again, there will be all the notes that we'll be adding on top will come from the same scale. No brainer so far. So third of C, again, C, D, E is the third, E. Then we're going to do one more step. Third of E, E, F, G, G. So the third of C is E. And then third of E is G. Now what is G to the C? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. G is the fifth. The notes that these chords are built off of is known as the root or the 1. The second note is known as the third. The top note is known as the fifth. Now let's do that for every one of these notes. And there you have it. And those are the 7 naturally occurring chords within the major, within the C major key. And this works in any major scale, except different major scales have different accidentals or different notes that are flat and sharp. Anyway, so this is the basics of what musicians are talking about when they talk about the number system. When they say, "Oh, play the 2 of this key, play the 5 of this key, play the 1 of this key," these are the chords that they're referring to. But we can't stop here. What the next step is deciding the quality of each chord. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about the 2 different qualities of a chord, of chords, and they are whether it's major or minor. An extremely simple explanation of the difference between a major chord and a minor chord is that major sounds happy, minor sounds sad. Again, very, very simple description. Here's the technical difference. Here's the difference explained in numbers, basically. Here we see 3 sets of thirds. E is the third of C, F is the third of D, B is the third of G. Now, this is how you decide what kinds of thirds there are. There are 2 types of thirds. There are major and minor. Major third, minor third. And this is how you decide what it is. So from C to E, you have C, C sharp is the next note. We're going chromatically, or by half steps. D, D sharp, and then E. So this is the distance between these 2 notes, C and E. And from C to C sharp is a half step. C to C sharp to D is a half step. D to D sharp is a half step. D to D sharp to E is a half step. That makes 2 steps. 2 whole steps. Let's do the same with D. D to D sharp. E to F. Again, this is the distance between these 2 notes, D to F. This is a half step. This is a half step. This is a half step. 1 less half step makes it 1.5 steps. If the distance between a third is 2 steps, it's major. If the distance between a third is 1.5 steps, it's minor. So figure it out for G and B, and then comment the right answer in the comments. The reason why that is important is the quality of a whole chord, whether a chord is major or minor, is decided by the quality of the third in relation to the 1, the root. So let's see here. C to E is a major third, or 2 whole steps, which makes this a major chord. Second, D to F is a minor third. This means this is a minor chord. Distance between E and G is a minor third, so this makes it a minor chord. Distance between F and A is a major third, which makes this a major chord. G to B is major, so major chord. A to C is a minor third, so this is a minor chord. B to D is a minor third. But if you notice, D to F is also a minor third. So if our fifth is also a minor third away from the third, this makes it a diminished. Now I'll explain further about diminished in another video. But don't worry about the diminished yet. Let's just worry about minor and major. Chords are usually written not in Arabic numerals like this. They're written usually in Roman numerals like this. 1. And depending on if it's major or minor, it'll be a uppercase or a lowercase. So since C major chord, is a major chord, we'll use uppercase 1. And since DFA is a minor chord, D minor chord, we'll use a lowercase. So minor chords are lowercase, major chords are uppercase. 5 major, 6 minor, 7 diminished. The circle means that it's diminished. But don't worry about this yet. This is a whole completely different deal. So there you have it. There you have the 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 7 chord, the 7 chord. Each of these have a natural quality, and here they are: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. So hopefully this has helped when you hear a musician say the 5 chord of a key, 2 chord of a key. Hopefully this can help you out. Please ask me if there are any questions. Thanks for watching.